There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. That's from Hamlet. And I think it applies here. Time isn't as simple as it seems. There are some really weird things going on with time that we're only just discovering. Here are 5 shocking time facts that will make you question everything. Time is relative. Yes, this is Einstein's theory of special relativity. It means that time is not absolute but depends on the frame of reference. Imagine 2 spaceships moving past each other at near light speed. Each ship has a clock. The crew on each ship measures the other ship's clock to be slower than their own. Both crews would be correct. This is because time is relative and depends on the observer's frame of reference. So be careful when you say something is only happening right now. You're talking about a particular frame of reference. There is no universal right now. Time goes faster for the rich. This one's based on a phrase by the physicist Richard Feynman, who said, "If your time is slipping away, spend some of it on making more money." But there's actually a serious scientific basis to it. One way this works is called the wealth effect. As people get richer, they're less likely to work as hard. Their economic well-being increases, so they don't need to take risks or work long hours to earn money. They have enough already. However, you could argue that the very opposite is also true. Some people become so obsessed with earning money that getting richer becomes an end in itself. Do you think becoming richer makes you less likely to work hard? Let us know in the comments. And if you're enjoying this video, please subscribe and stay updated. You can't smile and breathe at the same time. How do we know? We know because NASA tried it. NASA researchers wanted to see what would happen to breathing patterns if a person tried to smile while breathing at the same time. What they found was that a person could either breathe normally or smile, but couldn't do both together. If you try it yourself, you'll find it causes all sorts of funny contortions of face and body as you realize it. It's impossible. So why is it impossible? Well, breathing is automatic and controlled by the brainstem. When you try to smile, you activate muscles in your face which are controlled by the motor cortex. Your brainstem and motor cortex are separate parts of your brain. The parts don't communicate directly, so your brain has to send signals back and forth to allow both functions to take place. However, this takes time. Your brain simply can't coordinate the signals quickly enough to keep smiling and breathing at the same time. In fact, studies found it took around 20 seconds for the brain to adjust and work out how to do it. But even then, it wasn't perfect. The researchers concluded that people simply weren't built to smile while breathing. And if you want proof, ask any clown. Clowns have to breathe. They can't smile while they're breathing. This is what you looked like 6 years ago. Did you know that every year you replace all the cells in your body? Over the course of a year, all the cells in your body are replaced with new ones. So it might sound correct to say that after a year, you've got 100% new cells, but it's not quite true. All your cells turn over, but some of them turn over faster than others. For example, your skin cells turn over roughly every 28 days, but your bone cells last around 10 years. So although you may look different from the picture of you 6 years ago, you don't have any brand new cells. Instead, you have some new cells and a lot of recycled cells. You're basically the same cells, just a bit older. Time has stopped, at least it has up north. There's a place called the North Pole. It's where Santa lives and all the reindeer fly. It's also a place where time stops. That's according to scientists. Anyway, in 1971, satellites orbiting the Earth noticed that the North Pole was lagging behind other points on the planet by a few milliseconds. The Earth is slightly wider at the equator than it is at the poles, so it rotates faster on its axis at the equator. This means that points on the equator travel faster around the planet than points on the poles. Because these 2 points are at different latitudes, they also experience different amounts of gravitational pull. Points closer to the equator experience a stronger gravitational pull because gravity pulls towards the center of the Earth. That's why a GPS system needs to account for differences in time between points on the equator and the poles. It's not a huge difference, but it's measurable. If you were standing at the North Pole, you would be able to measure time stopping momentarily before you began your journey south again. Time is wound up tight in space. In 1971, 2 American physicists, Richard C. Mansell and Robert V. Coyne, conducted an experiment to test Einstein's theory of general relativity. They did this by measuring the gravitational field of a rotating neutron star. A neutron star is an extremely dense object formed from the remains of a massive star that has exploded as a supernova. It's incredibly heavy for its size and has a powerful gravitational field. They used X-ray bursts from the star to measure changes in time caused by the star's gravity. They found that time slowed down significantly on the surface of the star due to its strong gravitational field. Basically, the closer you get to an object with a lot of mass, the slower time goes by. So time isn't just relative to your frame of reference, it's also relative to the strength of the gravitational field you're in. This is known as gravitational time dilation. This effect is usually small and not noticeable in everyday life, but it can be significant near very massive objects, like neutron stars and black holes. I am immortal. Well, maybe not you personally, but every second of every day you create new life. Cells in your body die and are replaced by new ones. Every single day, trillions of new bacteria are born inside your gut. Even your DNA is constantly being replicated as new cells are made. Maybe immortality isn't about living forever. Maybe it's about dying and being reborn over and over again. We're all immortal in that sense. Nothing lasts forever, but life goes on. Even the universe is kind of immortal. Scientists believe that when the universe reaches its heat death, it will expand to a point where nothing will exist. Then the Big Bang will happen again, restarting the universe. So even though we're all mortal, we're all immortal too. It just depends on how you look at it. Can you change time? Well, yes, you can. Sometimes all it takes is having a baby. Babies cry a lot, so much so that scientists have created machines to measure the decibel level of their screams. Scientists at the University of Michigan created a device called the Laring Mist, which measures the sound pressure level of an infant's cry. They then categorized the cries into different levels of severity. Based on the sound pressure level, this allows healthcare professionals to quickly identify babies who are in pain or distress and need medical attention. The idea is that if you can measure the sound of a baby's cry, you can start to correlate that sound with different medical conditions. This can help doctors diagnose and treat the underlying issue more quickly. The Laring Mist has been shown to be effective at identifying babies with conditions such as colic, reflux, and even congenital heart defects. By listening to a baby's cry, doctors can often get a sense of what might be wrong and begin treatment immediately. So babies can affect time by crying a lot, but they can also affect time by changing the sound of their cry. It's amazing how something so small can have such a big impact. Now check out my other videos. Please subscribe and stay updated. Thanks for watching.